I'm a 21-year-old bloke, and I left school at 16 to do an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I've been in, production kind of factory work since then, and I personally don't read The Sun, the Daily Mail, anything like that.
No.
And everyone at work obviously does.
Yes.
And I think the biggest issue in this country, like you commonly say, is the media.
Yeah, of course.
Because with this whole week, with Boris's absolute shambolic week, a couple of people have spoken to me about it, and I don't say what I actually think because you get hailed, they just call you an idiot or have a right go at you and say we can't ever have Corbyn in because he destroyed the country, right? A Labour government would. I'm obviously 21. I've not been into politics long. I don't quite know how a Labour government will be worse than no deal. And, all the experts that are saying no deal is going to be extremely dangerous. But that is not relevant because the media, the right-wing media, and all of the lies that are spread on a daily occurrence, they are louder than your truths.
They're louder than all truths. Truth's boring.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Truth's boring.
Exactly. And it's just, you quite frankly, you just get nowhere because every single day there'll be another lie or ridiculous article like the Corbyn chicken one. And I think fundamentally in this country, the biggest issue is the media. Well,
you're the expert here, not me. What would... Because I can talk to people one by one, or I can make big pronouncements and pompous monologues on the radio, and I know it changes minds because people tell me that they do. But if I was you, if we swapped jobs for a while, and I was sitting next to someone at work who still subscribes to these, demonstrably ridiculous beliefs, how can you break through to them? Because I presume, and I don't want to be patronising, but they presume that if someone posh like Jacob Rees-Mogg is saying it, then it must be true.
Well, I don't even think it's as far as that. I think it is, they pick up The Sun, which they do every day, the Daily Mail, anything like that. They read that. And then it just, every single day, a bit more of a concrete foundation for their views is laid every time they read another lie.
Yeah, of course.
And it gets worse and worse.
Even when they read someone like Richard Littlejohn telling them that Boris Johnson is lying and telling them that they should love it.
I think they see it as this man's got they see it somehow as he's got the courage to do it, and that makes him a better prime minister. I'm not quite sure how, but it is happening.
Then we took a call. Sorry, I'm more interested in what you think than what I think. Go on. I think personally what?
I think that we're approaching a stage with with this whole Boris Johnson's line, and we love it. I think we're getting close to what it was a couple of years ago with Donald Trump's campaign when he said, if I could walk down where I can't quite remember the quote.
No, he said I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a single vote. So if Boris Johnson stood up right now and I don't know, poured a bucket of cold sick over his head and claimed it was the second coming, you've got colleagues that would applaud and cheer.
Yeah, it's I think the fundamental issue in this country is the media, and I think they should be held accountable for lies and spreading lies, just as businessmen are. If they lie about, I don't know, their incomes or tax or anything, they are held accountable. It is dangerous what they're doing.
As opposed to putting the lie on page 1 and then putting the retraction and the apology on page 412 6 months later.
And I just think they need to be held. I know it's a difficult subject because journalism is journalism. It's always been spun. There's always been
true.
What's the word? Alternative facts. There's always been alternative facts in the media. But I think this brainwashing of everyone, in this kind of industry I work in, drastically needs to change.
And if that is your only news source, and not only is it your only news source, but if you're reading the Mail and the Sun every day, they're telling you not to trust the BBC as well, of course. Yeah, so, what else is going to happen? Yeah,
and I've got to the point now with it where I start to think, am I being brainwashed? Because I love your show, I've read your book, I listen every day that I can. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, how can this bloke on the radio say all this stuff and no one else understand that it's true? Or that how can no one else see what you see?
Well, you know what the answer to that is. You've got to buy a book for every bloke you work with.
Well, yeah. But I don't know.
It was 99p on Amazon when I was on holiday. You could get the ebook for one day only. You could have put a notice board up that's why you've read these lines then a million times. It's about selling tickets for the ghost train versus the speak your weight machine. You just count the people in the queue. But hang in there, Henry, because the truth is the truth.
I am.
The truth is the truth.
I can't for 1 second put any beliefs or be mutually agreed with Jacob Rees-Mogg. He's an absolute I don't know, what he did the other day was an absolute joke.
Well, how do your mates at work deal with that when they see him lounging on?
This is the thing. They don't really. I think they see that, but they don't really follow it as in depth as I do. I listen to your show every day I can, and like I say, I love to try and keep informed with it. And I don't think they're aware that a politician has accused a doctor who is just trying to, warn that people may die if we leave with no deal. He's accused him of being a scaremonger. He's
accused him of worse than that, actually. That's what he's apologised for, is comparing him to a doctor who was struck off in disgrace. It's 1 minute after 12. Henry, you've made my day, mate. I hope you'll let me say that. I appreciate it's baby steps on the production line where you work. I've got one person on side, but it's a hell of a lot better than none. So thank you. Have a great weekend.